Oh, are we doing it? Ooh, I think we're doing it. Is my mic on? I can't tell. I think it's on now. I really hope it can hear me. I think. I got team-wiped by the Galalian. That's crazy. Yeah, I think it can. Praying to the gods, it can hear me. So, how I pray nonsense is we continue to. Hello. I don't know if you can also hear GBL in the background. Game Boy Luke, go check him out. Shameless, not sponsored plug. Oh God. This is my first time recording on my laptop. I finally figured out this. And I'm just glad that Showdown counts as a record thing. Oh God, I can't move it. Oh God. Darn it. Oh God, I don't know how to move the thing. You can see how bad my. I don't. Anyway, what I'm trying to do, because hey, it still works. I had an idea, partially inspired by Distortion Devil on Twitch, Senile Snake on YouTube, where he makes characters, D&D characters, out of characters that his fan base suggests. Like I know he's made a bunch of anime characters. He's made video game characters, that kind of thing. And I'm fucking hoping I'm not just showing fucking nothing and just talking to my fucking self right now. I had an idea for a one shot that I wanted to run for my D&D group for Halloween. And as you can see here, it's monsters. It's legendary monsters, as I've been calling them. And the theme behind the characters is the legendary monsters. I'm talking in circles now. But yeah, we have werewolf, we have jack-o'-lantern, which is like I basically mashed a scarecrow and Jack Skellington together, and basically made this guy. We got Bayou Billy, who's up here right now, as you can see. It's based on the Swamp Thing, Swamp Druid, Lurker Warlock, and we have Ali Tepish, a vampire. Alucard, Tepish. Don't. I get it. I make bad names, but it's all part of the meme. Just bear with me. Oh God, I really hope this is actually recording and I'm not a fucking idiot. Anyways, I got. Well, okay, here. First of all, if this is recording, I'm gonna first show you each of these guys, these characters. So first things first, we have Wolfman the Werewolf. I chose Bugbear because it's innately hairy, innately lanky. Path of the Feral Beast, wolf, barbarian. If you're wondering what Path of the Feral Beast is, and you're like, oh, this is some bullshit, that's not real. You're right. It's homebrew that I made on D&D Beyond. It essentially, it is actually one of the first. I think it is the first, if not the second, ever subclass I made on D&D Beyond. So it's probably really bad. But you can see here. I guess I'll go down it. I'm setting them all at level 14, just because I think that counts as epic level gameplay. So yeah, I'm gonna be saying a lot. Deal with it. God, I'm gonna listen to all. I'm gonna listen to all this and see all this, and I'm just gonna cringe. Anyways, setting them at level 14 because that's like when everybody gets like their best shit, and then the capstones and the of the subclass and the level 20 stuff is I can't say they're bad. They're always they're very good. But level 14 is a little more manageable than just saying, here you go, here's a level 20 character, have fun. Figure out everything you've gotten up until now right away. And I'll be honest, 14th level is still that, but at least with Roll20, I can say it's a little more manageable. So, sorry. It is, I think you should be able to see it. It is currently 10 minutes to 1. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll just quickly slide down this so you can see all the nonsense that I have, and then I will go through the Path of the Feral Beast stuff that comes up. Okay. So, first things first, animal behavior. I could just open fucking D&D Beyond right here, rather than doing this and shameless plugging my stuff. Why is Rabid Rage still like that? It's weird. Anywho, yeah. Part of why I started with level 14, Wolfman was the first one I built of these these 4 currently. Is because he needs to be able to turn into a werewolf. Become a werewolf, bonus action, howl, summon 2 direwolves as per conjure animal spell, lasts for duration of transformation or until reduced to 0 HP. Communicate telepathically with them so long as they are within 60 feet of you. Use this feature once per transformation. Wrong button. But yeah, the entire thing is basically focused around this animal mimic feature, which is when you choose this when you choose an animal mimic, you gain when you choose this animal mimic, wolf. You gain the pack tactics feat rather than punch bludgeon with your beast claws, you can bite pierce. Beast claws being Third level, when you take the subclass, you become proficient with unarmed strikes, hereafter referred to as beast claws. Essentially, martial arts from the monk class, but for barbarian so that he can be an angry animal boy. Supernatural ferocity is literally just strong belief, draws natural magic, so your beast claws now count as magical. Really uninspired. So originally that was all that was there, and it was like, yeah, it's another thing. So I went back and oh god, that probably sounded really retarded. Sorry, not retarded. Shouldn't be saying that. I have no filter. I have a small filter, but I have a big mouth. At least that's what I like to say. Anyways, so I added a new effect. Why am I talking like you know what my fucking subclasses are? Anyways, commanding howl, you can rage. You can howl as a bonus action. Inspire your allies, allow them to move half their movement as half their speed as their reaction. Do this wisdom modifier times per day. I am all over the board with this class because I have heavy focus into wisdom, and then I think it's this one. Yeah. Yeah, it's this one. Slowly become. Oh god, I gotta stop yawning. Yeah, it's late. I just got off work like 2 hours ago. I'm pooped. But I wanted to figure out how to record my fucking record my screen on my laptop. And I'm so fucking happy that I've finally done it. I don't have to record my showdown videos with my fucking phone anymore after being on repeat. This is gonna be so nice. Oh, I am not tech savvy. Oh god. Also, sorry for if it's earphone rape. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Becoming more bestial. Add a wisdom modifier to initiative rolls. While raging, your intelligence score and modifier becomes 4 or -3, and cannot be reduced further by anything short of the Feeble Mind spell. I did this because I think in most cases where you cast a spell affecting a beast, it has to have an intelligence score of 3 or lower. I gave it a 4 just because that way he can't technically be affected by like a charm animal or what is it, animal friendship spell. I think that's what I was going for. Also, mind flayers. Fuck them. They can't. Intellect devourers. They cannot hurt this barbarian because he is just so angry and stupid. He is literally protected by nature magic. Also, once per rage as an action, emit an unearthly roar that functions as a 3rd level Thunderwave spell. DC 8 plus Charisma modifier. Why did I do Charisma? Because I wanted it to be like a force of personality thing, or like, I believe so strongly that I am this animal that roar. Yeah. Roar XD. God, I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways, I'm blanking. So we're just gonna move on. No, we're not clipping that. We're clicking that. Become the beast. This just explains lycanthropic transformation. So, once per long rest, expend 2 of your rages as an action to assume a hybrid form of a lycanthropic creature. Based on the creature you chose to mimic for 1 minute, you are considered raging for the entire duration, cannot drop rage, and gain other benefits. Transformation doesn't affect your alignment. Using creature stat block from Monster Manual, if any of your stats increase, barring intelligence score due to rapid rage. Apply the changes for the duration. If they would decrease, use your stats. Yeah. By use stat block, your HP, AC, and actions remain the same unless otherwise stated. I also yawn a lot if I talk a lot. I'm not good with people. I'm even I'm good at talking to myself, but this whole thing is new. I have Game Boy Luke paused on such an unattractive screen, and I feel sorry for him, but I also want to post it. Not going to, because I don't do Twitters. Twitters is the devil. Even though it's arguably the best way to get out your information. So I'm swapping to TFS at the Table, Chapter 6, Episode 5. Spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. I need background noise because, yeah, I'm paranoid. I live in a big house, and I have 2 animals, and it's a big house, and I need noise. Otherwise, I guess I get scared by the literalist creaks of the house. Yeah. Let's actually move on to the shit you're probably hoping I'd do. The next one I did was Allie. Just I tried to make it a generic vampire. She is, and the one thing I don't really like about didn't like about Roll20 is the way custom classes, using the custom class thing had to work out. Like, you had to make this the first one. You had to make the custom thing the first one. I'm talking in circles about the first one. Okay, I'll stop. So, if you're wondering why Bloodhunter's first and it's Khan and Cha, I had to manipulate it because she went Shadow Sorcerer first. So, anyway, she is a Shadow Sorcerer 9, Bloodletting Bloodhunter 5. I'm sure I could have come up with a better name for that, but I honestly couldn't think of it. Anyhow, Bloodletting Bloodhunter. Another, actually the most recent creation I made on D&D Beyond. It hyper focuses on blood, I'll say. Like, what is it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's essentially the sword from Bloodborne that you stab into your gut, you pull it out, and it's just covered in your blood. It was partially the inspiration of that, and partially vampires, obviously. Partially vampires, partially that blood-covered sword from Bloodborne. Yeah, I'm stupiding out again. So, anyways, so this is Allie Tepish. I made her a Shadarkai because in the homebrew world that I am still working on, Shadarkai are essentially vampires because rather than the Raven Queen, they were patroned. I don't know the word for it. They were patroned by the vampire goddess. So, like examples, I'll start scrolling down. So you can see stuff. You can get you can't see me pointing because I'm a fucking idiot. You can see some of the spells I chose for her. Preview of Blessing of Gyulsh. That is the name of the vampire goddess. Yeah. So if ever there is anything that says HB next to it, at least in this section, that means it's been homebrewed. So, Draining Bite. Gain a bite attack, 1d6 plus strength or dex modifier, whichever's higher. Grammar Nazis, please be kind. I know this is all fucked up, but this is a little jury-rigged from one of my other sources of where I had this. The bite also deals 1d6 necrotic damage, which heals them. I might need to change this. Anyways, I know I could just change it now, but I'm not going to. Which heals them for the necrotic damage dealt at 6th level. The necrotic damage goes up to 2d6, and at 11th level 3d6. So this is their version of a Dragonborn's breath weapon. Yeah, except it's a melee attack. Close. Sunlight sensitivity, if you don't know what it is, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and wisdom perception checks based on sight. If anything you are directing this towards is in direct sunlight. I could make it, fucking Christ. I could make it hyper sensitivity, but for a essential player character, that's good enough. And normally I don't actually like including negatives into this outside of stats. Just because I feel like it takes a little too much away from the game. I feel like. But then again, I'm stupid and don't know what balance is. So, yeah. Let's see. Blessed by Gyulsh. Literally, the only difference to this is rather than turning into a swarm of crows, is you turn into a swarm of bats. That is the only difference. So I probably could change this, but in my world, rather than Blessing of the Raven Queen, it's Blessed by Gyulsh. Yeah. Moving on. Crimson Right, Primal Right of the Frozen. I gave her a lot of ice magic just because undead, cold to the touch. I don't know. I gave her Blood Curse of the Fallen Puppet just because I felt like that was one of the most appropriate things for a vampire to just be like, oh hey, you're dead. By the way, take a swing at your friend while you're at it, while you're going down. Okay. But here's the meat of the thing. I only went Blood Hunter 5, just because this stuff was really all I wanted, and I feel like it fits a vampire really well. Blood Curse of Hemorrhaging. At 3rd level, when you join this order, you learn a Blood Curse of Hemorrhaging. Blood Curse of Hemorrhaging. Whenever a creature within 30 feet of you hits a creature you can see and draws blood, you can use your reaction to hemorrhage the wound. The creature must make a con save or take additional necrotic damage equal to your Crimson Right die on a fail, or half as much on a success. The curse ignores a necrotic resistance. And Amplify. This curse deals additional necrotic damage equal to your Wisdom modifier. Life through blood. 3rd level, when you join the order, you always amplify any blood curse you use. However, to offset this, you also gain temporary hit points equal to the amount of damage taken in order to amplify a blood curse or when casting a Crimson Right. Temporary hit points gained in this way can stack, so it's not like, okay, I cast my Crimson Right, and then later on and then like a round later you cast your Blood Curse. That way you're not wasting. That way you're not wasting life while not gaining anything else out of it. I get that they're like you're losing life to amplify and or cast the Crimson Right, but I felt like adding temporary hit points to it to give it a little bit more longevity to offset the always amplifying a blood curse was pretty decent. Damage taken from amplifying a blood curse or casting Crimson Right do not subtract from temporary hit points as part of their cost of casting. And that is so you can't just be like, oh, Crimson Right, and then your first blood curse is essentially free due to the temporary hit points. They always directly affect your hit points. You cannot gain temporary hit points from other sources than the features of this class. That was another way to nerf the buffing hell out of it. And any healing you receive while you have temporary hit points is halved. Again, I don't know what balance is, so I felt like this was a pretty good balancing act that I did with, gaining temporary hit points for casting Amplify and Crimson Right. Extra attack from Hunter 5 and Houndeville Omen. But yeah, it basically just focuses all in on hemorrhaging and just bloody explosions is the best way that I can just define it. Like, if you've ever played Fallout and you've gotten the Bloody Mess perk, but in D&D. That was one of the big inspirations behind Bloodletter Bloodhunter. Next, Jack-o'-lantern. When Archfey Patron level 2 and Wildfire Druid 12. I cannot sing the praises of Wildfire Druid enough. Oh my fucking god, if this doesn't make it into the next goddamn subclass book, I'm gonna because Wildfire Druid is so cool, partially because I was in the process of trying to think of how I could abuse fire as a druid. And then, like, a day or two later, they announced Wildfire Druid, and I'm just like, fuck yes, and this is so much better than I could have ever made something. Anyways, what is a Briarborn, you ask? It is a Spriggan. I made a race in D&D Beyond called a Spriggan. It is absolutely based on the Skyrim Spriggan. Except they're not all female. It's literally just essentially it's essentially a dryad, but player material. Briarborn is, as you saw, one of the. It's not actually a sub-race as defined by D&D Beyond. It is a variant because actually, now that I think about it, what the fuck is the difference between a variant and a sub-race? Either way, it is a Briarborn. What a Briarborn means is that it was born in a desolate or cursed forest. So, like, a place that recently burnt down. Wildfire. If Fey magic had suddenly just spiked and created a dryad, don't at me because I don't know how dryads are actually made. I know they're spirits of trees, but, like, shut up. But yeah, Briarborn. He's super spiky, fiery boy. I'll give you the slow crawl of the. And if you're wondering why he's got 3 wild shapes, I didn't notice until I started working on Bayou Billy here. Druids can only wild shape twice from level 2 until level 20, where it's just you can do it whenever you want. I get that as you progress, you can just be wild shaped for half your level amount of hours. But that's dumb. You can do it twice, and if you get shunted out of it, you've literally just lost a big resource. I get it's technically a primary caster, but fuck, dude. I was talking about it with one of my coworkers who's usually like, "Oh, dude, shut up. That's not even balanced. Whatever." And even he said, "Yeah, no, 2 transformations for 18 levels is kind of dumb." Like, hell, even if he actually suggested that it should be like a Barbarian's Rage, where I think uh, by level 19 you can do it 6 times per whatever rest resets them. And I was like, I tested that, or well, tested it. I was going to put that into practice with Jack and Billy, but it felt a little too strong. So I was just like, fuck it, make it freaking wisdom modifier times per reset. So that's why rather than 2 wild shapes, these like any druids that I have in here are gonna have wisdom modifier number of wild shapes. There's the list of stuff. This thing, I'll open this up. I do not want to do that. I want to do this. Sickle Homebrew. I hate that sickles are purely strength based. I get it. You're literally just hitting a dude over the head with a sharp curved piece of metal with a potentially wooden handle. But I feel like it should be finesse because it's like it's a D4 slashing weapon. And honestly, the flavor of having a fucking sickle befits dex-based fighters a hell of a lot more. Because I recently started playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist because my DM has been having writer's block for his homebrew, which is how I actually started D&D. So he's like, I'm going to run a module and see if I get any inspiration. So we started Dragon Heist. I was planning, depending on what the rest of the party did, because I am that dude that loves to fill in slots. I was originally planning, before I heard everybody else's thing, on doing a Aarakocra Shadow Sorcerer. And I was like, okay, it's Edgelord Boy. It's Shadow Death Bird thing. I was gonna base it off of a Vrock, actually, the Vrock demon. Um, and I chose Sickle for its simple weapon, and it only goes off of strength, of which he had an 8 in, because he's not a strong boy. He's a dex boy. He's a bird. I know birds can be strong, but like he's a dex boy. Why the fuck can't he use dex for it? Is dumb. So I made it dex. I made the so long story short, I made the sickle dex based, and for flavor, because it's a legendary monster, and I want his essentially signature weapons being these sickles. I bumped them up to a D6. Literally, all I did was made it a hand axe that's dex based. So yeah, that's that. Also, I changed. I don't think you'd see it here. I changed Primal Savagery into Infernal Savagery just to fit his fire theme. Literally, the only change is the name and the type of damage it deals, which is acid, by the way. Normally deals acid damage. The main reason that I went come on, use your words, fucker. Main reason I went Fey Pact Warlock, Fey Patron Warlock, was for this. Fey Presence. First level, your patron restores you the ability to project beguiling or fearsome presence of the Fey. As an action, you cause each creature in a 10-foot cube originating from you to make a wisdom saving throw against your warlock spell save DC. Creatures that fail their saving throws are all charmed or frightened of you by your choice. playing up the Jack Skellington angle of this character, he likes to befrighten people. So I chose the befrightening presence. Yeah. Plus, I don't know. For some reason, I kept thinking of this and was like, he's some kind of warlock. Like, literally, I have Wildfire Druid / Warlock question mark next to him because I wasn't sure if I should just go full Wildfire Druid or if I should dip into Warlock. And ultimately, because I'm not all that accustomed with Fey Pact Warlocks anyway, yeah, this just fits really well. And second level just to get invocation, just to get the 2 invocations, fucking fantastic idea. I'm very glad I had it. Agonizing Blast because why wouldn't you? And Armor of Shadows so that he can free cast Mage Armor, which would bump his armor class up to 16. So yeah, I'm very proud of what I did. Also, feat at 8th level for Elemental Adept because all the fucking fire. Oh, I suppose I should have shown you Allie's spell list. I've not been closing these guys, and that's what's really been fucking it. So Frostbite, Ray of Frost, Chill Touch, Mage Hand, Minor Illusion. The cold, air quotes cold. I know it's necrotic. Yeah. Charm Person because vampire, Ice Knife because cold themed, Shield because I needed something, and what was it? I was originally going to give her False Life, but then it's like she's a blood hunter that cannot gain temporary hit points from other sources than her class, which was my severe dumb. So I was just like, fuck it, change it to Shield. That way she has, she has Counterspell, but yeah. Charm Person, Ice Knife, Shield. Darkness from Shadow Sorcerer. Shadow Blade because why the hell not? Hold Person because I think that's no, it's Dominate, which I do have. Gaseous Form because Vampire. Counterspell because why wouldn't you on a caster? Greater Invisibility because LOL. Blight because Necrotic stuff. And Dominate Person because Vampire. Yeah. Wolfman. Close. We were on Jack. Load up. There you go. I'm gonna go until 2 o'clock, and then I'm gonna call it because I unfortunately have to work tomorrow. But yeah, Jack-o'-lantern. And here is his spell list that I came up with. So, I didn't show off the Briarborn and Spriggan stuff. Where is it? Here we go. Dark Vision because Dark Vision. Fey Resistance. It's literally just the shit that Forest Gnomes get. Voice of Nature. Pretty sure this is the thing that Fearbolgs get. Take Root. It says so right here. You sleep in a manner similar to elves in that you meditate and enter a trance, except it's called Take Root because you're doing a tree. Aggressive Overgrowth is the racial benefit from Briarborn. You learn Thornwhip Cantrip. At 3rd level can cast Ensnaring Strike. And at 5th level can cast Spike Growth. You use Charisma for this. This is because Briarborns get a +1 to Con and a +2 to Charisma. So, Charisma. Charisma. Back to Billy, I think, then. So, Swamp Druid 10, Lurker Patron 4. Only went Lurker Patron 4 to get the ABI. Ability score increase, if you don't know what an ABI is. I originally thought... Actually, I'd been tossing around what race to use for... I originally called it Bayou Bessie, but Billy... I've heard girls called Billy, so I'm like, let's make it gender neutral, and that way, part of it's wrong of me to say creepy in that context, but part of the creepiness Bayou Billy is that you can't tell if it's male or female. All you really know is it's creepy. And I'm going to get reamed because it's 2019 for saying all of this. Anyhow, like I said, I have no filter. So, Swamp Thing. Swamp Druid. I feel like it was an obvious choice. Lurker Patron. The only thing that I currently hate about the Lurker Patron is its spell list. I hate its spell list because I feel like there could have been better options considering that Xanathar's Guide exists. Granted, there's not a whole hell of a lot of spells that Xanathar's presents compared to Player's Handbook, but I feel like Thunderwave, Fog Cloud, Gust of Wind, I get it. It's sea based, but I feel like there could have been better spells chosen. Otherwise, I fucking love the tentacle thing that Lurker Patron gets. I fucking love the sea-based thing, and I wish that it had come out in time for Ford to have gotten it. Because by every god in the Pantheon is Lurker Patron specifically tailored to Uk'otoa. Anyways, enough ranting. I tossed around the ideas of the race being just a creepy Triton, essentially being a sea spawn from, I believe, the Monster Manual. And then I was like, no, just make it a really creepy water genasi. And I'm just like, fuck it, make it a lizard folk. And that way, with lizard folk, hold your breath for 15 minutes, and you have a swim speed of 30 feet. Boom! Granted, I know you get it with Triton, and you get innate cold resist. But I also like the idea of just the bite, the creepy aspect of building shit out of bones and flesh. gaining extra proficiencies, having a higher base AC, literally ripping the flesh off of somebody and gaining temporary hit points due to it. I fucking love it. Plus, they talk about how creepy lizard folk are compared to everybody else anyway. So it's like, lizard folk swamp druid. Absolutely. Go for it. This is our swamp thing. But anyways, so on Billy, I can fix that right now. I've rolled up all their hit points. I have input their armor class. I've input their speed. I gave them more strength versus dexterity. I originally had their strength be their dump stat, but it just the stat layout at that moment didn't fit well. So I changed everything around. The con stayed the same. The wisdom stayed the same. I think the charisma is up from 12? No. Yes. Charisma is up from 12. Specifically so it's not like I'm just tossing Warlock to the wayside. Bruh. Strength so that the bite can be viable, semi-viable. Little sad the dexterity isn't better, but I figure you can play it off as like you just brute force your way through the swamp rather than swimming deftly between the reeds or whatever. Also, a part of the legendary monster background, I basically was just like, give everybody stealth. They've become legendary monsters by being stealthy, slinking away all the time, barely being on the periphery of people's vision, that kind of being able to sneak up and scare people. Basically that. And then it's like, and then for the other skill proficiency, I was just like, pick something that you don't get from your class or your race that fits the monster. So you innately get stealth from being a legendary monster, and I went with athletics because you're constantly swimming through swamps and muck and shit. Everything else comes from the race and the class currently. I think we've got everything out of... Oh, common and draconic. We can add that now. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, God bless America. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that was... Oh, thank God. Okay. I figured it out. I'm not that dumb. I do kind of wish this went away when I was talking. I think there's a way to turn it off. But anywho, what was I doing? Right, common and draconic. Gonna add the common. try refreshing. While that loads up, I can check my phone. Go for the infos. Go for the common. First go. Up! By you, Billy. Billy! They fought a bear! And then they turned into it. After eating it. Consuming its heart to consume its power. Okay, it didn't add. So we'll do boom bop. Hey, there's the common. Alright, and then we need Dragonic. Draconic. And then we'll add Druidic. Oh, wait. For some reason, it only has Druidic as the class thing and not as the language. So you have to manually enter it. Which is fine, because it's actually really easy to do. It's just a little weird. And I'm sure it's like, oh, you have to be subscribed to the Paizo or whatever, which I'm a little mad. Like, okay, I get it. D&D Beyond is technically its own thing, so having this would defeat D&D Beyond's own purpose. But like I think Roll20 is partnered with Paizo, the Pathfinder makers, if I remember right. I think that's right. So like this is essentially Pathfinder's D&D Beyond, which is funny considering I've seen more people running actual D&D Beyond D&D stuff than Pathfinder using Roll20. So we've got languages out the way. We're going to move that around. We're going to go back to the top. Gonna go to the... Where are you at, though? Warlock. And we are going to go to... we still have to add the druid stuff because the druid stuff came first. So, light armor, medium armor, shields. Light armor. Medium armor. Ara. Armor. And sword and shields. Okay. I'm not even gonna do all this nonsense because all you gotta do is add scimitars and then simple weapons and you Gucci. I feel really stupid saying Gucci. So we go to Scimitar's. And we go to simple Weapon. Hell yeah. And that is that stuff done. Oh, you get an herbalism kit. And you get an herbalism kit. Herb. Boom. Alrighty then. Starting equipment for a druid, you get a wooden shield and any simple weapon, sorry. Wouldn't use a shield. I feel like it wouldn't use a shield. I would say they get a scimitar. Yeah. I'll just give them, for now, I'll just give them a scimitar. Scimitar. Alright. And then what was the other stuff? Leather Armor, Explorer's Pack, Druid Focus. Leather Armor is kind of useless because it's 11 plus 11 plus Dex, of which we have none. So the natural armor of the lizard folk would be better. So I'm just gonna omit it. I'm gonna omit the leather armor. So we need an explorer's pack. Boink. Yeah. And we need a... Oh, wait. Druid... For some reason... Again. Druidic... Yeah. For some reason, there's no druidic focus item. So... Boink. Boink. If I could spell... Oh no, my dumb is showing. Oh darn it. Bob Saget. This is another thing that I've had a problem with on Roll20 is sometimes the delete button don't work. It literally is just, I don't know, unequip it, close, this, do, there we go. I don't know, that's a little funky to me. Sometimes it works right off the bat, sometimes it doesn't. What next? Let's just go down the druid list. So we've got the druidic language. I didn't add this to Jack just because it's a language, and how often I feel like it'd be dumb to have this as a thing currently. But anyway, so if I remember right, it's because they're currently at. Oh wait, no. Wait a minute. Oh shit! Did I fuck up? Did I fuck up on Jack? Because Jack was a level 12, right? Yeah, Jack was a level 12. Okay, they still had 4. Okay, so at 10th level is when you get the 4th one anyway. So, okay, so yes, it is still 4 cantrips. You get 4 cantrips, and I think it's Wisdom plus Druid level for number of spells, right? When you do so, choose the number of Druid spells equal to Wisdom modifier plus Druid level. So Wisdom is 3. Level is 10, so that's 13 spells. Fuck my life. At least it's 2 less than Jack had, so it's fine. So 13 spells up to spouse. I think that is only 5th level. Yes. And something I learned about Le Druid something I learned about Le Druid, the having Warlock class spliced in with another caster class, you get more than 4 spell slots. At least that's how this app I have on my phone runs it. I haven't tested it in D&D Beyond, mostly because I don't like the spell section of D&D Beyond because it feels clunky. I swear, I am a grown-ass man. I am just heavily stuffed up and tired. Anyways, ow. So you get 15 spells up to 5th level. I didn't go through fucking Jack's spell list, so I think that's how I'm going to have to end this off. So we're gonna go to this, we're gonna go to that, we're gonna open up the character sheet, I'm gonna move you over here, I'm gonna drag you down, and we're gonna go to spells. So, because I got sidetracked by the Thorn Whip thing. You get Thorn Whip because you're a Briarborn. You get Eldritch Blast because why wouldn't you as a Warlock? You get Infestation as a Warlock spell. Yeah, these were the Warlock spells I went with. You get Firebolt because you're a Wildfire Druid. Control Flames because Wildfire, because you could just fucking move one flame to another and do all this crazy shit with fire. Resistance because I needed another Druid cantrip. Infernal Savagery because more fire. And I just really like the idea of this pumpkin-headed creature made out of vines that just suddenly its hands ignite in fire and it fucking rakes you with them. I loved that idea. And then Druidcraft because Druidcraft. Ensnaring Strike once a day because Briarborn. Mage Armor Invocation. Cause Fear, Hex, and Hellish Rebuke as the Warlock spells. Because Cause Fear, because Jack Skellington theme, scaring, Scarecrow, that shit. Hex because it is arguably the best Warlock spell versus Eldritch Blast being the best Warlock cantrip. Hex being best Warlock spell. And Hellish Rebuke because more fire! Fairy Fire not taken as Warlock spell. Even though Fey Patron grants access to it. I wanted the DC to be a little higher. So I went and just was like, yeah, this is the Druid spell. Entangle because, like I said, it's a creature made out of vines with a pumpkin for a head. So conjure a shitload of vines. Cure Wounds because I needed another spell and I couldn't decide on anything else. Actually, wait a minute. What spells do they get as Wait a minute. Oh, wait, no, that's first level. I'm dumb. Hold on. Spike growth once a day because Briarborn. Locate animals and plants as part of Wildfire. Scorching Ray as a part of Wildfire. Flame Blade because weapon plus more fire. Flaming Sphere because more fire. Heat Metal because fuck metal and more fire. Well, it deals fire damage. Deals hot damage. Pass Without Trace because Stealthy Boys. Because you're a legendary monster and you want to hide. Find traps so as to avoid any human traps that might catch you. Fireball and Plant Growth because Wildfire Druid. Dispel Magic just because I needed another third level spell. Fire Shield and Aura of Life. I love this spell. And I can't say I've ever seen anyone ever use it. And it makes me sad. Because it just... Here, let's go over it. Because I love this spell. Thin wispy flames wreathe your body, shedding bright light for 10 feet, for technically 20 feet. The flames provide you warm or cold. Warm shield gives you resistance to cold. Cold shield gives you resistance to fire. Whenever a creature hits you, it's an automated... This is literally an automated Hellish Rebuke that grants you a resistance. I love this spell so much. Granted, I think Armor of Agathis is a little better just because you get the temporary hit points, which effectively give you a resistance to something. But, I don't know, just, I've never seen anyone use Fire Shield, and it makes me sad because it's such a decent spell. Or of Life because Wildfire Druid. Wall of Fire because more fire! I have such mixed feelings about Grasping Vine being a 4th level spell. Granted, it's a vine that lasts for a minute, has a reach of 30 feet. You cast it as a bonus action. I just feel it's a little weak for a 4th level spell. Flame Strike and Raise Dead because Wildfire Druid. Awaken because I had this cinematic idea of how he used Awaken. He just walks up to a tree, puts his viney hands on it, and just racing little bits of fires crawl up and around the tree until it forms into essentially a treant. I loved that concept. And the flames stick around to rather than it forming a face out of the bark, the flames just stay on it as like a holographic face. I loved that idea. Conjure Elemental because you get your fucking wildfire spirit. Why not just be like, fuck you, boom, here's your big brother, essentially, and you got a fucking another fire elemental. Especially because what is it? It's Flames of Life, I think. What is it? What is it? What is it? Where is it? Flames of Life. Turn death into flames. When a small or larger creature you can see dies within 30 feet of you or your wildfire spirit, use your reaction to cause flames to spring from the body. Instant source. As a reaction, an instant source to create your fire elemental from. It is so fucking good. It is such a good druid. It is, in my opinion, which is usually wrong, it outclasses Moon Druid. But yeah, it's just you literally just be like boom, and then next round on your turn, a fire elemental on top of your fucking wildfire spirit. It's so good. Back to spell list. Anti-life shell because I was kind of thinking it would be like at one point maybe you're in the thing you'd have to like ward against human attacks, and it's just like Jack comes out there and like Zavala in Destiny 2, everyone get behind me now! Ward of Dawn anti-life shell. It's just the sheer amount of cinematics that I came up of cinematic ideas I came up with, or well, ripped off of, essentially, that I ripped off for Jack. Amazing, and Wildfire Druid just makes it all the better. And then Investiture of Flame because make more fire. More fire. MOAR fire. Fire. Anyway, back to Billy. Billy! And it's 2 o'clock. Look at that. I actually filled up the time slot. I will, now that I know how to do this, I will probably do more of them. I'm actually a little sad that I didn't get further with Billy. But hey, we can do more tomorrow. If you actually wind up watching this, thank you. I've not really been playing my games lately, but I do occasionally. Just check your Twitch in case I do wind up streaming. Yeah. Been trying to play Shadowkeep. Can't really bring myself to do it. And now that I have this, I'd rather be doing this. So I'm absolutely doing this. Which, by the way, these are just 4 characters out of the 19 that I came up with. I'm gonna be doing this for a while, and I got 2 weeks until fucking Halloween. However, based on when I brought it up last time, it didn't sound like they really wanted to do it. At least not on Halloween. But yeah. I'm gonna stop recording now. Thank you for watching if you did. Thank you. Especially if you made it this far. If you made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah.